Hello everybody and welcome to 3C Woodworking. Today we're going to be looking at the island top that is almost complete. I've got the doors to put on the back. So here I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can kind of get a beauty shot of the whole thing. Here we have the top where we have solid oak here. This portion here is 13 inches. Same with the other side with a solid surface top. You've got shelves inside for storage with easy close hinges so that it doesn't close very hard. One of the things that I want to do is, because you hear how it closes, is I'm thinking that I'm going to take a piece of foam padding and put around the doors. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera, and then I'm going to bring you over, and I have all the paperwork laid out for the design. Let's take a look. So here you can see where the carcass was built. See if you can get the dimensions in there. So going around this edge, you have the 2x4 construction here, and it's like in the middle here, but you're not really able. Oh, there you go. So you can see it there. And then there's that frame here. This is a piece of maple plywood with cherry stain, and that is secured on the inside. Then I took and I ran a groove all along the edge, and then went ahead and put some more oak in. So you have the oak that's been stained with dark walnut, same as the top, and the middle piece, this piece, has been left natural. Coming back over here to the drawings, so you can see the height and the width. And then my notes up top here for all the dimensions. And then, so that is this piece here, and then that piece down there. Then we have a center divider. See if we can get the measurement to lock in. There you go. So there's your size. Now in the front, I originally was planning on doing a half lap like this, but then I ended up getting away from it because I decided that while I do want a divider here, we'll walk around to the back, I didn't want a divider there because I've got the leaf blower and some other pieces that are a little long, so I wanted to keep that from having a divider. I secured that front one. You can see the screw there, and then there's a screw there, and then a third one right there in the middle, and it's been glued all along the inside edge where the plywood is connected. There's caulking in there to close it all up. This piece is stained with dark walnut, but that's actually cedar, as is this. And as you saw, it was put in, this one was put in using a cleat. And you also notice that this center divider here in the front for the face frame is a little wider than the ones in the back. Now we'll come back to the drawing again. And here you can kind of see what I had in mind. There's the dimensions here. The first one and the second one are 7.5 inches apart, and the last one is whatever it ends up being. There's the dimensions. A lot of my math and notes. This is the size of the solid surface and the pieces that got cut from it. That is for this piece. And we'll move all this stuff in just a moment. And so here you see that the wood is supposed to be 13 plus an inch there. We need 14. It's 26 inches wide, 64 inches long. I wanted everything to be flush. Here in the drawing, I had originally intended on doing the miter joint, but the miter joint isn't very strong, so I ended up doing almost like a butt joint, but there's actually dowels in there to hold it all together. And I think I might have even used some pocket screws, I don't recall. And then here's the other side where I have the grilling equipment hanging down there. And another drawing of the top. Now the top, let's go down to here. Let's see, where is it at? There's a cleat that sits underneath on the edge here. That's this edge. There's a cleat just below this so that this can sit on top of, and then this can sit on top of. You got a cleat that runs all along here, here, and here at one level to match the thickness of the red oak. And then you have a cleat that runs on this side and on that side, which accommodates the thickness of this material. And then same thing over here. I've got 3 cleats that are all on the same length, same level. Let's go ahead and move all of this out of the way. It's actually not a hard project to build. You just have to take your time to try to make everything as right as possible. Here you have 3 panels that are glued up. Paying attention to the grain direction, it's really difficult to tell, as is with this one. It's kind of difficult to tell where exactly it had been seamed together, and that's what you want. These shelves, each one of these shelves are put in, let's go to the bottom, using glue and pocket screws. Oh, let me get that, there we go. So the shelves are put in there with pocket screws and glue. It's kind of hard to see up in there. There you go. Whoops. But that's how these shelves are put in. The back one is put in with a cleat. And then, of course, I got the soft close hinges here. For the door, I just did a simple rail and style. See if we can get that. There we go. Rail and style. These were actually made on the table saw. Let's see if we can get a better view of that. There we go. These were actually made on the table saw to match the thickness of the that is 1/4 inch red oak plywood. That's what I did for all of the doors. So you got that one, you got that one. And then over here we have the other two doors which need to be installed yet, but before I can install them, I have to go and get some more hardware. So the original doors were going to be made out of red oak, and here they sit unassembled. When I laid these out, I didn't take into account something to pay attention to. I didn't pay attention to the tongue here, which is about 3/8 of an inch, and I didn't take that into account when I was cutting the doors, so they were too short. So then, of course, I had to remake them, and so here it is, and it's getting ready to go out onto the back patio and get out of the shop. Hopefully the drawings that I showed in the video will be enough to where if you decide to make something like this for yourself, you can. What does it take to make one of these? Well, you need 1.5 to 2 sheets of 3/4 inch maple plywood, roughly about 16 2x4, 6 1x6 red oak boards that are 3/4 of an inch thick, 1 piece of solid surface, pocket screws, hardware. Not too bad. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I showed you enough in the drawings to where if you're interested in making something like this, you can. If you have any comments or questions, they are, as always appreciated. Now, real quick, for the hinges, I took and got the Kreg jig. Now, this hinge thing for from the Kreg jig, I'll see if you, there you go. You can see the numbers, kind of, if I can get it to zoom in on it. But it's got numbers on it. I don't know, maybe the lighting's not good. Maybe if I turn it around. There we go. So you have numbers on it where you can set it, and that is for the spacing. Then, of course, you've got the bit, which is a 35 millimeter bit. That's just a protective covering. And this, I don't know if I can do it one-handed. Hold on. Comes off and separates so that you can set this into your drill. It comes with a stop, which I find that if I set all the way to the very bottom, then it will only plunge a 1/2 inch deep. So you get this set on your saw. I clamp this down, and then this sits in there and locks in. Made doing the hinges very easy. So, and all the cuts, the crosscut slit, all the cuts were made on the Hercules table saw. I had a, one of the comments below was asking about the rising knife. Well, you know, as far as the rising knife, rising, I don't know, whatever you call it, the rising knife on this thing, it was parallel to the blade. The only thing is if you want to disconnect it, and I'll show it in a later video, it's rather complicated because, if I can get in there, you got to take and you got to get all that stuff out of the way so that you can get the rising knife out. Yeah, it's a tough situation. That's the one feature I don't like about the Hercules. Needs to be cleaned. But anyway, So hopefully that answers your question about the table saw. The rising knife, yes, it is parallel. It's easy to move up and down, even below the blade, so that's not bad. I really don't want to take it off. So, making the initial cut into the sled is kind of tricky. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below or questions if you have them. And, well, thanks for joining. And always be safe